Hello and welcome. Today we have episode 2 of me developing my top-down shooter, shoot 'em all, whatever you want to call it. I am Ligmat69 and welcome. So for now, we are going to be working on optimizing the code. At the moment, our code is in this function, so we can move around. We also can shoot by clicking. We can dash with a knife, which is again sometimes broken for some reason. It seems to be affected by how the gun is positioned, so we have to fix that, but that's another thing to fix. And yeah, we can destroy that block with either the knife on dashing or with the gun by shooting. And for now, that's all I need to know. And you can see there's also an indicator of this, so we can change the direction to which the uh, knife goes with tab. So we have like a bunch of different files that we work with. So for now, let's begin with the top one here, which is bullet. So these are the projectiles we are shooting. We are not inside that, but they look like this. We'll work with that. So first of all, we have a start function. So this sets the rotation, the position, and the velocity. The physics process, well, yeah, we don't want a bounce. We just want it to disappear upon impacting. We might make a different bullet that does include a bouncing, but for this one, I could separate gun, but for this one, no. So this one just sets, okay, once we turn the character, it turns. The gun, this one we don't even need. We can get rid of this. Let's try it, I guess. And then we detach the script from here. Now we should no longer have like a gun script. So let's check that it works still. Yeah, it does. So we are good. So that did not break anything, which is ideal. Now let's move on to actually fixing some shit. So with the knife, we also have like a starting function. I don't think we're using that for anything, so we can also remove that, and it should be able to still run. Yeah, so we can just get rid of the knife, the cheaty as well. So let's move on. Direction indicator is fine. Static body. This one I think is also fine for now, but we're going to look into changing some things about this later, because there is a thing I want to fix, but I don't know if we have time for that in this episode. So now we fix the big one, that's character, so this is the longest file. So we have our speed and that. Let's first of all check any other numbers. So for now I think we can do something. So for knife DMG equals to 50, and the gun the damage is defined elsewhere. So we can, let's make var DMG equals to 20. Bullet DMG. So now we're defining, okay, bullet does this much damage. And then we'll just change this to bullet DMG. The reason why I'm doing this way is just to make it easier to adjust down the line, because it's going to get like annoying eventually if I don't. And now we can just do this, because we'll have all the different values, and being able to adjust them all at top makes things a lot easier to develop in the long term than having them like all over the place. So for now, let's just look from top and see what we can change. This dash timer knife, yeah, that should be good. So for some reason, it's being affected by the direction. I think it has to do with us actually rotating the sprite. So let's see where are we setting rotation, and let's get rid of that for now. That will break our gun, but it should ensure that this works. And if we can just set the gun dot rotation, I think that might allow us to fix the gun rotation. Okay, doesn't allow us to fix the verge of the bullets, but it does mean that our knife works correctly. Let's check the shoot function. I think that's where the issue comes in. Oh yeah, so we need to do gun dot rotation. And now I think it should work with just the gun. Yeah, now it should work without breaking. Yeah, we fixed the bug. And action press click. I think there's some unneeded things here, potentially. Yeah, this stuff, it's useful down the line, not something we need currently. I think for now it's sufficient, but this will be useful when I actually create the turning like side and the different angles that the character can turn into, because I will be creating all kinds of like the 4 different moving direction angles, maybe even 8 for diagonals, but I'm not sure about that. I think I might just do not like one of the 4 for the diagonals, and I think this one is good. We don't need this part anymore, so we can get rid of that. Oh yeah, we need to change the bullet velocity though, because that's currently being broken. I don't know why it's breaking. because the speed should be equaling to that. Oh, we have removed like a bunch of speed from this one. That makes so much sense. Yeah, now it works properly. Yeah, it seems let's remove the 0 from here that I shouldn't have removed. And I think all of our code is good to go for now. I think the next thing we can work on is just trying to change up the like knife timing, because I think it might be good to keep the knife visible for a bit longer than the dash, or change the dash timing, because currently it's very short. So let's try changing our dash timer first of all. Let's say we want this to be like this long. I think that's good enough. So let's try to change our dash speed to be a bit slower. So wherever our multiplicator for that is, we should also change that at the top actually. So let's say var dash speed. Let's actually just set the dash multiplier equals to, let's say 6 dash multiplier. And now let's check. I think we can go with that for now. It's a bit slower, and I think I also need to add in like a timer. Yeah, now we have got it to actually show for like a decent amount of time. Now it's just like the dash itself is a bit long, but I think we can leave it be like this for now. So next thing I want to do is I want to make sure it doesn't like take multiple collisions in like one go through like a thing it's colliding with. So for example, now you might see that it's like in one go destroying that, but it's actually supposed to do 50 damage. So for now, let's work on fixing that. So I think the solution here might be to check for like the collider. So when we actually do the collide, we change like a variable inside the object we're colliding to, and then that method will change some variable, and if it's, or will like change the layer mask or whatever, and then once the dash is over, that will like return back to normal. Oh, I guess we can just implement it in the func hit. So now, if we run this, we shouldn't be able to destroy it. It should still do the first damage, but it doesn't do the second one. So now we need to like return that to normal, which is where it gets a bit more annoying. So for now, I think we can just like make another function, and then we just say, okay, set collision layer value to true again. And then we can go to character. We should, if the dash is like stopped, if it's not dashing anymore, I guess, we can go here. We can set a group for this. So let's make a group. I think that's one good way of checking it. So let's say enemies. I think this is how to do it. So we can set here like, okay, call groups mobs, and not mobs, enemies for now, and we hitbox restore. Yeah, so 2 passes through it to destroy it as it should. Yeah, so we have figured out that functionality now. So what we did is we have our hitting, which just like hits this, and then this sets the collision value, so it doesn't actually take collisions anymore. So when you hit it once, like one dash, it will no longer take like a second hit from your knife, which is important because we don't want it to like die immediately. And then the restore function says, hey, it can collide again. So that's how that works. And then we just call it, okay, when the dash timer is over, so when it's no longer in the dash. Then, and when the knife is hidden and stuff, then we call that, okay, all of these enemies can now take the hits again. The hitbox is restored. So when you dash into them again, it works. I guess next thing is, instead of working on the code, we can work on art. This is Pixelrama or whatever. It's just like a way to make pixel art. Makes life easier when I'm making characters. So I want to make a more simple character than what I have currently as to my like main character. And I think we can do that. And I don't think that head shape that I made there really works. Maybe this would work. Like adding some colors. Yeah, let's add in like some effect as well, like that. And then let's add in some element color that's too light. So let's go with something a bit darker. I think that's good for now. So let's export this. So now if you run it, we should have... No, we don't. I think it's just a different, like, name, but we can change those things. Ah, yeah, it's different. But I think we can just go here. We can change our sprite. Yeah, we can just instead, like, get rid of this. And I guess we don't need that frame, and we can add in this as our frame. And now it should... Yeah, it's very big. So let's fix that. There we go. Now we have it defined to be of a good size. So now we should be able to... Yeah, so for now we can see the gun is like positioned like this. So let's move our sprite and stuff. I guess like on top of everything or like below everything. Yeah, so now the gun will actually go below the character. We can see it's a bit off position. Yeah, the knife will also have to be reworked because it doesn't currently look good. And I also should add some sort of timer to the dash. Let's move the gun position, I guess. Yeah, I think that's sufficient. Then we can show the animated sprite of the gun. We should check that, okay, you also align with the actual gun. We can like start showing everything else. And then let's try this again. I think it's even enough. And it doesn't look horrible. I mean, it does kind of collide with the characters, so I think we had to like adjust the sprite of the actual gun as well. It's a bit too long, perhaps. And with that, I think we'll end the stream. For now, we have achieved fixing up the dashing a bit more. We have fixed up the code a little bit and come up with a new sprite for our character. Next time I think we'll be working on the enemy, like one or two enemy characters, sprites, testing multiple enemies, maybe making some like spawning mechanic for them and making them like move and do things, damage you and stuff like that. We'll see how far we get, but I think that's what we'll work on next.